Nintendo!
Hello fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. It has taken, what is this, Season 12 of Watch Me Fail? And this is the first game that we're playing that is actually a handheld game. Now, you might notice that I am playing on a Game Boy player. I've never actually used a Game Boy player before, so hopefully this goes well. I hope everything is, I hope there's no technical problems that happen in this first episode. I really probably should have tested it a little bit to make sure it all works, but at the moment it seems to be working. Anyway, this is also the first RPG we're going to be playing too. There are going to be, I think, a couple RPGs we're going to be playing over the next couple years that I can foresee. But this is going to be, hopefully this is, I mean, this is going to be a kind of a long series. Anyway, as you see, we have two options, well, three options basically. We have Mario and Luigi, we have Mario Bros, which is a remake of the second ever Mario game, I think. No, it's the premiere of Luigi, I think. The one that was released in 1981. Whatever. Anyway, we're gonna do Mario and Luigi, because that's the main game. As you see, I have played, I can show that I have played this game before. This is actually my copy of Mario and Luigi in the Game Boy player right now. Oh, I don't even know when I last played this part. As you see, there's going to be a little bit of spoiling. As you see, we get to go to Bowser's Castle. And I'm level 45. I have maximum money. There is a maximum amount of money that you can get. I've been playing for 19 hours. I think I have another save file over here. A little higher level, in a different room. And I have, well, I've been playing for a little longer. And here's a new game. I actually did play a little bit of practice on a Game Boy Advance just to see if I can remember what the buttons were. And then I remembered shortly after doing it that I'm going to be playing on a GameCube controller, and I felt like a moron. So we're going to be starting a brand new game. We're going to be doing the entire game, trying to go for whatever 100% is in an RPG, which is, I think, all the side quests that we can do, getting the best items, and then defeating the final boss. So let's start this game. And like usual, I don't talk during cutscenes. I might interject in between some pop-up in some text balloons, but other than that, I'm going to be pretty silent. This is going to be a very silent episode for me. And so right now, we are in control of Toad. Oh, this is going to be weird. Because I can use either the D-pad or the control stick. Huh. I'll use the control stick for now, see if that's more comfortable than using an actual D-pad like a Game Boy Advance would use. But, as you see, we're in Mario and Luigi's house, which they share. We have a Mario hat right here. Picture of Princess Peach. Got two beds, one green, one red. You can probably guess which brother sleeps in which bed. Down here we have some tools, because they're plumbers after all, even though we don't see them do their actual profession all that often. We got a nice little kitchen right here with an oven and a sink. God, I couldn't remember the name. wherever their fridge is, I don't really know. Not to mention they don't seem to have a TV, which I guess they're too busy saving the world. A hammer right here. And Mario's kind of missing, although if you look in his bathroom, which is without a toilet, I might add, unless the toilet's in the second room, because so there seems to be a bathtub in that second room. And here is the first fight. This is the battle screen of Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. As you see at the bottom left, you can see my health, which is 10, and something else, which we are going to be getting into. Probably not this episode, but next episode. That's also at 10. And also you see right above me, I have the ability to hit a solo block, which gives me the ability to solo attack. We also have Bowser as the main enemy. And on the right-hand side of the screen right now, or dead center in the middle, I'm going to show a stat of Bowser, and I'm going to be doing this for every single boss battle that we have in this game, where it's going to show like their name, a picture of them, so you don't forget what they look like, even though you clearly see Bowser right here, unless he's hidden by the stat screen, and what their HP should be, what their speed should be, what their defense should be, and any other stats that I could probably give out, and any other useful information that I can probably give out about them. In the back, and this is probably one of the only times you actually see Luigi not participate in the fight, because he's cowering in fear right now. You've got two Toads right next to Princess Peach, doing pretty much the same thing, and then Princess Peach has two waterfalls coming out of her eyes. So, for fighting, simply hit the solo block, and you'll get your attack. You can either go back and pick the solo block again if you so want, or you can attack Bowser straight on. Oh, sweet, I did it. I'm trying to get the timing down for that. Whoa! So Toad, I'm actually going to let Toad explain what's going on, because I feel like if I try to explain it, I'm going to be terrible at it. And I'm going to be talking over this because it's a battle. I don't really need to... So he asks you when your last battle was. So if you've ever played Mario & Luigi before, he'll give you the option to either see a tutorial or skip it. And we're going to see the tutorial, so he's going to show us how to do it. So my action command, what Toad mentioned, was that if I press, well, I'm just summing it up right now. If I press the A button at the correct moment when I land on his head, I will do double damage. As such. And now Toad's going to interrupt me again, and this time he's not going to be talking about attacking, but he's going to be talking about defending. Which is how I can dodge Bowser's attacks. I have been doing that, but I haven't been explaining how I do that. Fortunately for us, Toad is going to explain how. Mr. Ugly Bad Guy. I think Toad would know that his name is Bowser. So, just like attacking, you also have to defend, which means that you're pretty much you cannot turn away and just wait for the next turn, because you can make it so that your attack does more damage, and you can make it so that their attacks don't do any damage at all, or minimize the amount of damage that they do if you simply power attack and avoid at the proper times. Whoop. And like I stated, Bowser should have a health screen that popped up somewhere, but it was pretty pointless. So you're going to see, I'm going to interject right now, you're going to see a bunch of text in different colors whenever, you know, people start talking. And, of course, not me, because my text shouldn't be any color, and I have trouble talking sometimes. Blue things are very important things, so be wary of that. You'll also see some green things and some red things in text as well, and you can probably guess as to what those are going to be related to. So now we gain control of Mario in the Outworld, the Overworld setting. And as you see, we can move in 8 cardinal directions. We can move up, the diagonal, left, right, down, all according to plan. What am I trying to think of? What am I trying to say? Why is every single first episode of a series I do problematic when I try and think of things to talk about? Anyway, as you might notice, the Overworld is in a 3/4 camera angle, or an overhead camera angle, which kind of makes it a little awkward, especially when it comes to jumping and platforming, because as you see right here, I feel like I'm definitely on this texture right here, or I would be, but I wouldn't be part of the top part. Let me show this better. Like, this is a different level than this, obviously, and the darker spot is supposed to be a shadow. See if I can actually make this jump. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna go well. I'm very afraid about the button. I'm very afraid about how the buttons are going to be, because this isn't a Game Boy Advance that I'm playing on, but a Game Boy or GameCube with a GameCube controller, and I feel like that might have some delay. But it's going good so far. As you see, the top right, you can see Mario has an A button icon, and it gives us the ability to jump whenever we press the A button. If you walk up to people, that'll turn into a smiley face, a very happy smiley face. That basically gives you the ability to talk. There's also a third one, which we're going to find out by talking to this guy right here. So like you said, there's a guy near the middle of the level, middle of this area, that'll tell us exactly what the action icons do. Although I've kind of already explained 2 of the 3 action icons. And so here's the third one. If we find anything that's of interest, a flashing exclamation point will appear. And we found something precious. What is that precious thing? It's never explained. Now, because this is an RPG and not a platformer, 1-Up mushrooms do something different. And I think we'll be finding out what they do in the next episode, because I don't think we'll be seeing our inventory screen in this episode. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Just trying to get used to control. So here's a toad right here. You can't reach that mushroom? How do you leave the mushroom up there? I was... Nah, thank you. He really wanted that mushroom, but then ended up leaving. He's pretty much going to leave this area with less than he brought. I'm going to practice my jumping a lot. This is a perfect place to practice it. So right here we have a Koopa Troopa, which is kind of decked out in some aviator wear. He's going to ask us what direction Bowser went in. We don't exactly find out what direction Bowser went in unless we talk to Luigi right here, who's jumping with joy. Jumping a lot faster than we can jump. So he tells us that Bowser went north, or off the screen that way. So let's talk to this Koopa Troopa. So now we've talked to pretty much everyone in this area except for Mr. Action Icon right here. But we don't need to talk to him. We're doing just fine without him. Now, you might have noticed already that the Mario and Luigi series tends to be a little more comical than actual Mario games, although Mario games technically are a little comical anyway. They definitely play up a lot of things in this series for laughs. And right here we have our first save album, which is a giant book that floats in the air. All we have to do is hit this book like a normal block, and we can save our game. But we're not going to save our game until we actually get to the end of the episode, which is coming up because I don't feel like episodes should be longer than 30 minutes. But if we continue going forward... So we got our first main key item, which is a suitcase. So don't worry, they get a lot better than just personal belongings. So now all we have left to go to is the Koopa Cruiser. If we press select, which I think on the GameCube controller is Y, we'll see the menu screen, which we'll be going into a little bit more next episode. Here's the friend that we helped. So there's no one here. He was worried about being the last one here. He's actually the first.
Bye-bye.
So now we finally gain control of Luigi as well, and now we can play as them both. Press A to jump, press B to jump as Luigi, and we also, if you press start now, you can switch between them, so now Luigi's controlled with A, and Mario's controlled with B. You can switch whenever you want just by pressing the start button. I'm gonna try and keep it with Mario in front and Luigi in back, just because Luigi as B button is a little more common. And not to mention that this is the only game in the series of Mario and Luigi that you can actually switch between the brothers of who is in front and who's in back. In the next 3 games in the Mario and Luigi series, Luigi is typically in back. Now, it's been about 22 minutes, so we're going to save it for the first time. And this is going to be the end of the first episode. What is it? This is like the 15th first episode of any series that I've done. Yeah, I'm counting Legacy and Super Mario 64. Although, no, then it'd be 14, wouldn't it? Anyway, in the next episode of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, we're going to be going through the Koopa Cruiser, getting to the main deck, and we're also going to find out what Select does. So until next time, hopefully you enjoy.